Hello and welcome to the Witch's Realm. I'm Andrea Franco, Intuitive Business Mentor.
And I'm Amanda Root, Mindset and Manifestation Mentor. We created this podcast as a safe space for women to connect and come out of the witch's closet and own their magic.
We discuss everything from business, pleasure, spell work, sex, wealth, and how to live a magically abundant as fuck life.
Yeah, get ready to tune in and get turned on.
Welcome back, witches. I am so excited to be here with you today. We decided that we're going to be talking about time because it has come up in so many different conversations between us for last episode, clients, programs, all of the things. So we're going to take it away on the topic time.
The topic is perfect because it's literally something that as humans we deal with every single day. Yeah. I mean, every day I probably hear the words, I don't have enough time from somebody, or I don't have the time, or I can't find the time, I can't make the time. And time is such an interesting subject because there's infinite theories. I mean, if just when we decided that don't mind Andrea's robot arm, we had a small incident in some spell work, sometimes this happens. Sometimes. But if you really track yourself, since we decided we were going to talk about time, I was trying to pay attention to how often that word comes out of my mouth.
I know.
And it's all the time.
I know.
All the time. Time.
And I said it today in our text. You're like, time!
Yeah, because it's such a relevant topic, and there's so many misconceptions that we have generated as humans, as a society. We've created this emphasis on time.
I feel like we smother things. And you had said that before, where we put end dates on things, this must happen, or when this happens, this is going to be the thing. And I see a lot of people, especially in this industry, really obsess over time, and it actually blocks their blessings. If I don't get this done in a month, then it's not real, or I'm not it, or I haven't made it. If I don't hit 100K by whatever. And so I see so often people, when they start to want to manifest or bring things in, they get obsessed with the time, and none of it has anything to do with time.
Yeah. So what got me thinking about this was actually when my daughter was going into, I think she was in 4th grade, and she was learning history. And she was using this timeline, and they were dots marked on the timeline, and the timeline starts here and it ends here, and it's so finite and so limited. And she's like, Mommy, I'm learning about timelines, and I want to be well, that's wrong.
Those aren't real.
Your teacher. No, I mean, I love her teacher, but it's as humans, we've kind of fallen into, if you look at all the monuments that we've constructed and all of the statues, and they're all commemorating dates. And, this was established on this date, and we've been in business for this many years. But why is that even relevant? Why does it even matter? Does time really matter? And so that's kind of the topic that we wanted to explore today,
Yeah, I think that where it really started coming up for me was around healing. And so one of the things that really came to me today was when one of my first healing mentors, I remember getting on a call with her, and I was all of this, the trauma, for example, that I had withstood and things I went through were 20 something years of it, right? Mm-hmm. And so we think that if I went through this for X amount of years, then it's got to take that long to heal or that long to move through, when in reality, it took me, and again, we're ever healing and ever evolving. I always say that as a mentor, but it literally took me a couple of months to really heal a lot of this trauma, being able to forgive, being able to release, being able to let go, because I decided that I was doing it now, not this was going to take me 6 months or this was going to do it. And that really shifted everything for me. I will never forget that day where I was this doesn't have to take a lot of time. Because I always thought, I remember we were talking last episode about the 100K.
Yes.
It was that's going to take X amount of time, and healing my daddy wound, and this is going to take this much time. And in order to get this, it's this much time. And I went down a fucking rabbit hole, my whole life, of everything has to be And what really quantum leaped me making $1 million in 2 years and literally having everything I pretty much ever wanted and healing myself so quick was I let go of time.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part. There's one other thing, but we won't go there.
Time is a tough one for people.
Insider.
It's something that, you know, my clients struggle with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't seem to find the time. And a lot of times people ask me, how do you do everything that you do, right? Because I have 3 kids. I have 3 businesses. I'm married. I have a very active social life. Like, we have a podcast. We're planning live events. I have pop shops all over the place. Like, you know, how do you do all these things? And I'm like, I don't really focus on that. That's not even part of the equation. The how and the when, it's like so irrelevant. Time is elastic. So it's not linear. It's literally a cycle. And it's so funny because I used to get so frustrated. Like, my dad used to say to me, and it became a joke, like if I was upset about something, he would be like, this too shall pass. And it used to literally drive me nuts. But it is so true because everything is a cycle in life and time. Time is an illusion. It's a human construct created.
I know. We literally created time. It's not real.
We created time. We created this prison of time.
Like, it's not actually 7:22 because we kind of created
Does it even matter?
Yeah.
No.
And even what you said about cycles, I really like, because I remember getting this like astrology reading and someone's like, your life is like all death and rebirth. And I think in business too, like we get this a lot with clients where it's like, they just always want to be on the up. You always want to be in like summer. Well, businesses have seasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And life has cycles.
Everything
and
has seasons.
And people, we're just not okay with that as humans. We want the next big thing to happen in the next hour and the next day, you know?
Yeah. But it's so true. Like, if you look at, you know, the seasons even, if you don't have winter, you wouldn't have spring.
And if you didn't have winter, you wouldn't appreciate summer as much.
Yeah. I mean, I love winter.
I don't. I feel like I wouldn't love the flowers, but didn't have to see the snow.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Floridians don't really have to see that. I'm going to move there someday.
To the promised land.
to the state with no snow.
But it's even like in the tarot, you know, everything always comes back to the tarot for me. And when I think of like some of the cards, like the Wheel of Life, for example, you know, it's always turning. And I keep making this motion. I need to stop. But literally, you know, it's about birth, life, death, and decay, and then birth, life. I mean, it's so interesting because there's literally so many different theories out there. But like for me, I truly know deep in my soul that I've been here many different times before. And so I don't fear the next cycle because the death of this cycle just means that a new one is being born. I
wish more people could sit into that though, because I think this comes, and I think we'll do another episode on emotional intelligence because I'm really starting to dive deeper into that.
Which I love.
We might have to do that next time. But I think that's what really made things a lot easier for me in this business when at first bigger months happening and then we had dips and now I have a lot more consistency, right? But it was like the time thing and not realizing that there are ebbs and flows and that there are seasons and that things shift, because when you get in winter, if you're not okay with winter and you need to know summer's coming, right? It's okay. And so you could just put on a jacket. When a lot of people get in winter, they freeze.
Right. And it's winter is the time of rest. Yeah. So, you know, we need that time. We need that time to hibernate and to nourish ourselves and take care of ourselves and really prepare for what's coming and plant, you know, begin to planting those seeds that will start to harvest and sprout in the fall.
No, I think this is really important because I am really feeling a lot, especially in this industry, online, and in life. We just get so caught up in, I need to do this thing. I remember someone in one of my programs.
Yeah, like the months. Like it has to be, you know, if you're not doing like 20K a month, 30K a month, you know, look at your business from, get out of the weeds and get up above the trees. Look at your business over the span of a year and see what a cycle you're in and celebrate that. You know, if you're taking a month off to rest and recoup, like that's a beautiful thing. And if you can just tap into the frequency of gratitude for being able to do that, you'll end up making money while you're off.
Yeah, I pretty much always
make money in your sleep.
But no, I had someone in the program say, you know, I have to leave my 9 to 5 by. Mm-hmm. And I think it was like September, and everything started to fall apart for her to be able to do that, because it was like this obsession of like, if I don't do this by this time, then like I'm a failure and I must. And I felt like sometimes when we smother these things, we don't allow them to happen. And I can take my own advice, because I'm the same. Like, you know, for a long time, I really was like, if this doesn't happen by this date, then blah, blah, blah. And I had to really move away where like, I know it's happening. The when doesn't matter, because it's happening. And that's it. And you have to know in your heart and your soul. Like, I remember, it was so funny. Bobby was telling me the story when she was like working at Tri-City or some shit. Like, I came in with like 2 different UGG boots, and I was looking a hot mess, all types of hungover. And I was like, I'm going to be a millionaire.
I kind of remember that.
And I just kept shouting, like, I'm going to be a millionaire. And like, I was broken, I think like jobless at the time. And like, I didn't know when, you know, I just think in my heart and soul, like I was like, I'm calling this into my 3D. And it took a long.
I always knew you were going to be a millionaire.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think that we get so stuck on timelines.
We do.
Especially with goals. That's where I see people fall apart.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's a good idea to set realistic expectations for sure. And to say, like, I would love to do this by this date. But, like, the thing is that if it doesn't happen by that date, you don't just, like, give up and be like, okay, you know.
Jump ship.
I mean, this podcast is a great example. We've been working on this behind the scenes for so long. It's been such a labor of love. And the time for it to come out is perfect. Yeah. I mean, if we had launched this back when we first started talking about it, I don't think it would have been the right time.
No.
It's like you only have the present. The past is already over. It's already gone. And the future is not here yet. So all we have is this moment right now.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes we try to force things. That, like, even with the podcast, you know, it's like, I need to get this out. I need to do this, blah, 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 right? And we get really obsessed over things, and I believe in divine timing, right? Like, the universe really does know when things are meant to happen. And I can even feel it like surface in my heart right now of like, sometimes we have that resistance come up of like, no, I know best. It's like, well,
the universe will show you. The universe
will show you what you need to know. I'm someone who like fights that stuff.
So one of the reasons why we wanted to talk about this topic today is because we actually got a couple of questions, and they were both around time. So I'm going to read. These were from one of our listeners, and you can give me your take on this. Okay. These are good questions. So question number 1, would you rather have more time or more money?
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. Go.
More time. I don't know.
I think I'd rather have more money. I have endless amounts of time.
I don't know. This is like a trick question.
Okay, question number 2.
I feel like I have a lot of fucking money. But I also feel like I don't know, it's how, like, I guess my brain started going to this, like, I started thinking of like a family and like all of these things, and I'm like, I want more time with them or more time. But I guess you're right, if we're talking about this in the manner that we're supposed to be talking about it, like, time is endless and it's not real, so money, I don't know.
No, I mean, that's a good point. It's a fair point.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 2. Well, this is, I feel like time is moving very quickly and I'm just going through the motions. How do you go about slowing down and making your time count? It's a really good question. So I'll take this one. I think it's not really about slowing down necessarily, but it's more about being really intentional with your time. So if you have a certain task, let's say you have a list. Let's say you have 5 tasks. You don't even have a list. You just have like 5 things buzzing around in your head that you know you need to do. Number 1, you need to make a list. But number 2, it's like, if you took those 5 things and you just like tried to do them all at once, it would take you a pretty significant chunk of time. But if you intentionally set out to do each of those 5 things and you focused on them and planned them, or even hired someone to do some of the things that don't bring you joy, you know, that's been a big thing for me on
hell yeah.
kind of reclaiming my time. It's like,
yeah, when we met up, I was like, you gonna hire some people.
yeah, because you can only do so much. And it's not about time, but it's about like energy. You know, time is an energy. So, you know, I only have so much energy throughout the day. I know people think that I'm just like an energizer
I'm a projector
bunny
too, so like I like my naps.
Yep. I don't like to nap, but you know, I feel like if you want to slow down time, you do so by being super present.
Yeah.
In the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I want to answer this from like a mentor-y state.
Okay.
That's just me.
Go into mentor mode.
My brain is like, I felt like I had no time because I mismanaged my time. Like, honestly, if you take a look and like, I literally have like a journal, a calendar. I text myself at night. Like, I'm not even kidding. Because I
actually, you taught me that. That's one of like the best tricks that
I text myself what I need to do the next day.
Write this down.
Don't forget.
Send yourself a text.
And that is literally how I don't forget things. So for me, again, I get this in like business the most, where it's like, how do I manage my time? I don't know. It's like, you know, I like to reward myself. I like to have like outside breaks, nap breaks, pleasure breaks, like fun breaks. But like I always try to, I really put things in categories, you know, like here's the things I really have to like show up to this podcast or go to a call. Right. And then the things that I'd really like to do and the things that if I get them done, hooray, you know? So for me, I think it's being really intentional with my time, but it's not so much like slowing down as it's, you know, really getting organized. I think that the way I've managed, like I right now run like 3 programs. I have probably at least 10 private clients now. I do a lot of things. People are like, how do you do that all being a projector and only working 3 days a week? And it's just like I have really good time management and I know what needs to get done and what doesn't. I see a lot of people busy in their business doing shit that's stupid, that doesn't, and I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to be insulting here, but it's not money making and it's not time saving. And so you're wasting your time doing things that aren't getting more eyes on you and aren't bringing you money, and you're just wasting it.
Totally.
And so I try to help people, especially in stuff like Post to Profit, where like, here's money-making activities. Here's ways to get in front of people. Here's how to be more productive. Here's how to schedule out your time. Yeah. Because the truth is, the more you can manage your schedule and the structure of things, like the more you manage your own power. I feel like I took the power back when I decided like I'm working 3 days a week. I have Monday to do like this with you and we meet, and Fridays I kind of wrap everything up, and on Saturday and Sunday my name is Lola, piss off, because I do nothing other than like family, friends, and have fun. Yeah. You know, I think that was a big change. That's how I would answer that question.
Totally. I think just getting clear on your intentions and then letting go of how.
The how. That's a good one too.
Surrender to the belief, you know, because you really have to believe in what you're trying to do. If the belief's 100%. Not there, it's not going to happen. But kind of just letting the divine timing take over and trusting in the fact that like the universe knows better than you do.
For sure. And on that note, I love my fake rosé. I gotta get the name of this because it's really good. But I think I'm all timed out.
Belvoir Farm. Belvoir Farm.
We'll show it on one of the episodes. But I think I'm good on time. I think we should definitely open this up.
More questions.
More questions, because I liked that. I really loved answering questions. So I think we're gonna have to have in the show notes, you could see the email where you can go ahead and email us to ask us question. And remember,
thewitchesrealm@gmail.com. Send us all of your questions, all your burning desires, everything you want us to talk about.
Any topics.
No topics are off limits.
Yes, I will talk about.
We're just getting started.
Anything. And if you want to catch us in the Intuitive Boss Babe community, that's my free community right now. So
subscribe to our channel.
Do all the things. We love you. We'll be updating you with lots of fun stuff soon.
Thank you.
Mwah.